people are going to stay virtual.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. People that are remarkable can work from wherever they, and before the pandemic, they already were. Remarkable people were able to work remotely.
Do we start the episode now?
I'm just opening the.
That's a great way to start it, I think. Do we start the episode right now? Every single time, do we start the episode?
Hey guys, episode 35. Shit.
One day Lee's gonna know.
He's never going to know.
He's gonna say the episode.
That's okay though. Lee, what a week it's been.
It's been nuts.
Like, let me tell you, okay, we have a bunch of things here that we have planned that we want to talk about, okay? I thought for sure that Twitter was going to be the only thing that we're going to talk about because last week it happened, but I can't believe there's almost like fresh new content that's happening daily at Twitter HQ.
We should be checking Twitter right now to honestly report on this the right way.
Yeah.
Because
well, I actually did.
Oh, you did? Just
yeah,
check Twitter?
like 2 hours ago, I have up-to-date news as to
That's not up to date with Elon Musk.
True.
Elon Musk in 2 hours could change entirely the company's name.
But Lee, that's not like that is one world that has gone in complete shambles. But you know what's another place that is going in complete shambles right now? I know Storm knows.
The crypto space.
The crypto space.
It's getting messy.
I'm surprised I was able to afford to be here right now.
Is this hurting you at all, Storm?
I mean, a little bit.
Like indirectly through NFTs and stuff?
I have crypto as well.
Oh, you have crypto as well.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't really know that.
Just have to flex
You don't need to tell us how
It's
much.
not a flex right now. It's the opposite of a flex.
You don't have to
not
disclose your
not
portfolio.
enough for me to feel
Pain.
no. I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you got in early enough where it's not. You didn't buy the top.
No. Well, I definitely didn't buy the top.
Okay.
I bought 2 years ago.
Okay.
The listeners can do the math.
Yeah.
2 years ago in
Are
January.
you coping?
January of 2020.
What
Alright.
tokens and coins do you have?
The big ones.
Bitcoin,
I'm basic.
Okay.
Ethereum.
Just like in on the big
A little bit of
ones.
Solana.
So,
Okay.
do you have hope or are you coping?
I think that blockchain technology will be part of our lives. I'm not smart enough to know how to bet on it, whether it's coins or different platforms. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, we have that coming soon. This is going to be a pretty dense episode, Lee. I don't know how I'm going to freaking stop talking. Why don't we just get right into it?
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to the Fad Four. Whoa.
Wow.
Fad?
Fad.
Welcome to the
we ain't no
Fat
fad.
Forward podcast where we tell you diet tips. You know,
They said fad. We're not a passing fad. you
Jeez,
know?
there's my brain
For the
already,
long haul.
Short fusing. Welcome to the Fast Forward podcast. I'm your co-host Lee.
and I'm your co-host Lewis, and welcome to the fastest growing Canadian tech podcast in the universe.
This week we're talking about Twitter, crypto, and Carvana.
Yep, and we're also, if we're going to be talking about meme stocks, we're talking about AMC and Zoom, okay? And we're going to talk about some V.R.eddy Krueger, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't think we do know what you're saying.
I don't
but
either.
we'll find out.
But Lee, TikTok fulfillment centers, what the hell does that even mean?
Is that what we're talking about first today, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually excited about this. Let me wake up here.
Okay.
Okay.
Do a TikTok dance.
Yeah.
Do a TikTok
Yeah.
dance. Oh, damn.
Hey.
Did I just like...
Hey.
Hey, oh,
Listeners, you're
now
gonna
watch me
wanna
win.
hop to
Oh.
YouTube
All right.
here.
All right, I'm awake. Guys,
Lewis promised dances from Lee last week
That is
actually, so
true.
this is coming
Wait,
back.
what?
Remember?
No.
Oh, man.
What,
You don't remember last week, and you're trolling me about not remembering sugar, that you had some candies in your drawer 5-6 years ago.
Okay, listen. I remember I remember we mentioned TikTok dances, but was I supposed to do a TikTok dance?
I think so.
Weren't we supposed to get like a certain amount of views or something?
Yeah, you said if it got 2,000 views, because you said 1,000, then you said Lewis is gonna sick his army on you, so 2,000 views on our.
There we go. So
We're
we
at
did.
37, so we're on our way.
Come on, Army.
All right. So, guys, this story is really, really disruptive. And I actually think I'm going to make a TikTok about this story for my Grow with Lee channel because this is going to directly affect marketers in a very significant way. Basically, are you guys familiar with fulfillment by Amazon?
Is it just like you basically just make them fulfill your orders for a certain percentage of your product?
Yeah. Basically, you can ship your stuff to Amazon fulfillment centers, and then they list on Amazon, kind of like you would list on eBay. And then Amazon looks after everything: fulfillment, customer service, returns.
Oh,
all of
wow.
that, inventory management. Yeah.
And what percentage did it take of that?
I think it's like 20 something percent, 18
Okay.
to 20. I forget what it is exactly because I've never done it personally before. But it's huge. Like it's a big business. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys know this. When you guys buy on Amazon, like a huge portion of those products are not stocked by Amazon. They're stocked by Amazon partners.
Yeah.
So what TikTok's doing is they're basically saying, well, we've got creators creating content, and you've all heard about the, I bought this because of TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
People are shopping and buying things they see on TikTok all the time. Brands have definitely found a way to infiltrate without it feeling like ads. It feels organic. I think TikTok might be one of the best places for ads that I've seen. Like it's just so smooth.
Definitely one of the best spots for like influencer marketing.
Yeah. It doesn't feel disruptive. When you're on YouTube and the content just breaks for an ad break or it breaks and then YouTube does a pre-roll ad or whatever, you just feel the ad.
Yeah.
Where on TikTok, you could be scrolling and you just don't even realize you're watching an ad. And then it's an ad and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize. It's just so seamless. I feel like the integration's done so well.
It's also like sometimes only 10 to 15 seconds. So it's over with fast versus
the content's the same time as the ad. So that's also part of why you don't notice it because the content is typically ad length.
Yeah.
You're just watching,
TikTok.
tons of ads.
Yeah.
So they already have the content creators. They already have the products and people wanting to buy products. But right now, they recently did an integration with Shopify where you can like connect your TikTok with Shopify, kind of like what Facebook, Instagram did. But that still means that Shopify is, the merchant and managing the e-commerce side. And it also means that the user that's created the Shopify store to do the TikToks, to sell the products, has to do the fulfillment themselves.
Okay.
So what this does is it takes everything and puts it into TikTok's pipeline. So you can have a product a business, and you can literally never have your audience and customers leave TikTok. They can watch your content on TikTok. They can fall in love with the product.
Collect the data too.
And remarket, target them.
Wow.
Figure out where they are in the pipeline. And then all of the commerce is done on the platform. And TikTok fulfills everything.
And you know what? I trust TikTok's algorithm to really specifically target you with the products that you're most likely to buy.
This is,
It's
guys,
almost scary.
This is going to be scary. This news, I'm surprised I haven't heard more people talking about this. This is, if you have a business that you could build a big cult following around, and also it's like a consumption business. Like, for example, there's a TikTok account that makes, I think it's called freeze-dried candy. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like candy that goes in this like freeze dryer and it becomes like this like puffy, like
It's like crunchy almost. Yeah. It's pretty good.
that's something that if you buy, you would buy more of. Do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't just buy it one and done, like a skateboard or something, right? That's so good to have through TikTok fulfillment because you just keep pumping out content and your customers keep buying it.
And there's some businesses on TikTok right now that even without this type of integration have already
built
multi-million-dollar businesses. Like there's this one that Sid knows about where they sell slime.
Yeah.
It's like cookies and cream slime. And
Dude,
all they do, and they like kind of like do the crumble cookie where it's like a new one every single week, sells out instantly. And
Wait,
they have
it's
warehouses.
not edible slime?
It's ones you play with your hand.
What?
Yeah, it's like the sensory type of toys, like the fidget spinner or it's like that's kind of like the same area that's marketed towards. But I think it's called like peachy slimes or something. I forget what they're called.
Wow.
But they're insane. It's slime that like have a scent, like a fragrance, cookies and cream, and they might have like some sort of weird design on it. But all you do is you just like
play with it.
And
that's weird that people keep buying that reoccurringly. Like the slime gets old, they toss it in the garbage and get a new slime.
I think it's also just the collection, it's the scarcity too. But either way, I think with this integration as well, like that you're right, that peachy babies. Yeah, there we go. It's literally not many people are talking about this. You're 100% rightly, and I think that's what they want. They don't want people to talk about this because they know how scary that is.
Oh yeah, it's like the thing. So for anyone that's watching that's in business or does e-commerce or in marketing, get good at TikTok ads and start thinking about doing fulfillment through TikTok because, even when we talked about Twitter last week, I actually mentioned Twitter sites. You guys remember that? Really
Twitter
briefly.
Sites?
I said business sites. So because the tracking leaving the platform is not good anymore like it used to be. So just imagine you could understand your customer and profile them and tag them on their experience on your business site. So for example, at Tomorrow Inc. we sell a bunch of services. Not trying to plug anything, but we do like websites and branding and content creation.
What website would I go to if I wanted these services?
Tomorrowinc.ca. That's TMRRWINC.ca. So Tomorrow Inc. with no vowels.
Oh, okay. Let me have a look. Oh, wow. They have a lot of 5-star reviews on Google and
great.
Facebook. Yeah, they seem really active on social media as well. They look like they do amazing work. Anyway, sorry, Lee. I didn't.
Thanks, Liz. So the thing about our website is like we don't know if a user's come for content creation or if they've come for branding or from web development.
Yeah.
So that's why we track them on our website to retarget them with advertising on other platforms. But the problem is now retargeting is harder because people are opting not to get tracked.
Yeah.
If you can keep them on the app, you don't have to track them off the app anymore. Like if the website was on Twitter or the website was on Facebook, etc. So for e-commerce brands able to like have their shop on TikTok, I'm very curious what the shops will look like.
Yeah.
If there'll be like you know how right now there's like multiple tabs. If there's like a shop button and there's different categories and you can figure out what size they are, and TikTok gives you all that data for remarketing.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to look
cool.
like a link tree or something.
Yeah. Where there's like, it opens up more modules and more features. But basically the thing to take away from this, guys, is that TikTok is coming for Amazon and also for Google and for Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you know that Gen Zs and millennials, they spend more time searching for things on TikTok than Google now?
Yeah, we covered that in an episode like maybe 3 or 4 times ago. I do it when I was looking for Chicago because like I felt like when I searched up best restaurants in Chicago, I just kept, the Google searches have gone rapidly down, right? I find in quality. Like I'm constantly seeing like Yelp and all these kind of websites that are like best restaurants, top 10.
It doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah, it's not. It just feels like ads. And then with TikTok, I can go on there, I see a short video, and if I don't like it, I can just swipe to the next one like real quick, right? It's almost faster that way.
It's faster and you get better results. And the thing is, so Google's actually going through, not to go on a rant right now, but Google's actually going through an entire algorithm shift based on user quality. Because what they found is that over the years, decades now, Googlers, people that are gaming the SEO system, have created content that's not like, how many times have you guys done a recipe and scrolled for like 40 minutes before you got to the recipe? Like if you Google a recipe for something and you just read her like life story before she.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's because they want to get the keywords in and they need to get a certain length and time on page, et cetera, and they're not optimizing for like how you feel after you've left the page, like the quality of your experience. They're optimizing for search results. So Google realizes this and sees TikTok as a threat. So they're going through what they're calling like the biggest change in their algorithm to date.
Wow.
But I don't think it'll be enough because the nature of Google is like there's one page of good results and they're only good because everyone's gamed. They're not authentic.
No.
And people want that. So TikTok's gunning for Google search, gunning for Amazon e-commerce, gunning for Facebook's advertising. TikTok is can you invest? Can you buy shares in TikTok? How does that work? They're a Chinese company?
I think
privately
ByteDance. I don't know. It might be just privately owned, but
damn.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
not publicly traded.
It's not? Okay.
Scary company, guys.
Yeah,
scary company.
Very scary company.
Is it going to attack Bing as well, or is Bing safe in all this? Yahoo searches or Ask Jeeves? Are they
Ask Jeeves is safe.
What's Ask Jeeves?
You don't know Ask Jeeves?
No.
OG. the OGs.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves was like ancient search engine. It was like a butler. That was the only thing that was cool about it, is that like it was like a butler as the logo, and he was like searching the results for you. That was like the joke.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Before my time.
Yeah, but let's hope TikTok lays off all of this privacy issues. And speaking of which, Elon, Twitter fiasco. There's a lot going. So Lee, we mentioned it at the beginning.
Yeah, you know what I hate about this? Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. I made a prediction last episode, but before I could even we could publish the article, Elon moved so quickly. He like literally did what I predicted.
What did you do? What did you
remember? I said on the pod, I said 40 to 60% of the workforce will be gone in a year.
Oh yeah.
And then the next day, 2 days
you were
later,
wrong. It was in a week.
Yeah, I said within a year. I didn't think he just moved that. I thought it'd be a couple of months before he made the move.
Absolutely. So it's nuts here because last week we talked about Twitter for a while, and we kind of said only time will tell to see what happens. Well, time did tell, but way freaking faster than I thought.
Oh yeah, he moves fast.
So let me just give you a timeline of what happened here, okay? So Musk, I don't know if we mentioned this last time, but he said that he wants to bring back Vine, right? He wants to bring back Vine. So I don't know if this is just kind of one of his shit posts or he was being serious.
I think he said like, should I bring back Vine?
Yeah.
He was like more like
He put a poll.
he was like trying to see what people thought.
Yeah. So, but he wanted, that was a thing. So now you can pay to get the blue check. So this has just been introduced. It has been a rough ride, like a lot of people are claiming that they're having issues getting it. A lot of times it wasn't working, but it seems to be up and ready now. And now here's something that is new as of like, I think yesterday or maybe even a couple days ago. A new verification system called Official is added as the original verification. So what happens?
Lewis, I hate to break it to you. They just axed that.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I was going to do it.
Okay.
It's hilarious. They brought it in a day ago.
I thought you were just announcing that to us. My bad.
No. It's like, that's what I'm saying. This is how crazy like things are going in Twitter.
They brought that in.
Yeah, they brought it in. Graphic designers were cringing hard. Did you see some of the?
I didn't see that. No.
Okay, because like the alignment is. I know what you're like when it comes to pixel perfectness.
Oh yeah.
It was
apparently Elon said today in his Twitter Spaces call.
Yeah.
That it was aesthetically a nightmare, so he nixed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then not even 2 days after this, they completely deleted it. So that's crazy. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, what's like a bit strange with this, okay, is because the official tag, I don't mind the official tag. It just is funny how like it's almost like they just turned the blue check into a Twitter Blue subscriber. Like they don't
You can just
verify
pay
you.
for it. No, you
and
don't.
then the official part is the verification part. So it's almost like they just did a transfer almost.
But then they brought it back. So in the call today, I actually listened to it because luckily I didn't have an appointment, but I had to set something up in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I just let it play while I was setting things up. And Elon mentioned that. So number one of the big confusions is that there's like ID verification for every user.
Yeah.
There isn't. The verification is your phone, your credit card, and the money that you spend.
Yeah.
And basically his thinking is we can make it so that the cost of crime doesn't pay because they would need to get a different credit card, a different identity on the credit card, a different account. And then as soon as they did bad behavior, like impersonating or whatever, they would get banned and they would lose the money that they just spent. They wouldn't get a refund.
Yeah.
So he's actually not asking us to like validate our identification. They're just very aggressively axing impersonators, which he actually did to the person that you mentioned on the pod, I believe. Because you were like, I saw someone with like Elon Musk and a blue check. And I literally thought it was Elon that tweeted it.
Many of them. There's
Yeah.
like I think I've seen like 20 people get axed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because they're in person. And you actually thought it was Elon that tweeted it.
Yeah, I did at first.
It was convincing, right?
And I have like a bunch of, like I had a Tesla with a check. Like this was like when it first happened, right? Tesla account with a check reach out to me in the DM saying like, hey, join this crypto giveaway. We're giving this out to people who want Teslas or something. And it was obviously a scam, right? But that's just kind of like, what just sucks is that at the current moment, this like whole weird thing is that, $8. If you scam one person for $1,000, that $8 is way worth it. So part of me does wonder how we can do that. I wonder if the official part comes in.
They're not gonna bring it back.
They're not gonna bring it back.
No. So Elon talked about how he created like a 2-class system, and he just wants to keep it simple, like just one system.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very interesting. I'm just really curious of what's going to happen next week. I have a feeling for the next 2 months or so, we're probably going to be talking about this every single week. We might as well call this the Twitter podcast.
Yeah, we might honestly get more views if we niche down like that.
Did you guys see that Twitter is asking some of the fired workers to come back?
Yeah,
a few people which I think would have. This is okay. So Elon's behavior is very much like extreme.
Yeah.
Right, so he fired a bunch of people because at the end of the day he needed to, and then some of his teams were like, "Hey, like Paul that you let go, like we actually need him for this thing." And then he probably was like, "Okay, like everyone has like a 1% allowance of bringing people back they feel like they need, but the only reason they know they need them is now that they're gone. They kind of determine that." So I mean, that's what happens when you own a company for a week and then you axe half the workforce.
Yeah, literally.
Do you know what? It's such a big chunk.
So some of it was by mistake too. Like some of them were apparently let go by mistake.
Okay,
I'm not
that
sure
makes
how
sense.
that even happens, but
I do. I bet you when you were letting go of 3,500 people and the managers had like a few days, they probably had a spreadsheet where all the emails got sent out, and like some of them like literally just were supposed to be checked off, but were checked. You know what I mean?
There's a viral TikTok of some dude like pretending to be a Twitter person who got fired, and he's like, I'm not joking, guys. This is how I got fired today. And it was like, I printed off email of the new manager or something of hiring, and it's like hi, just to let you know, you will not need to come back tomorrow. And then it shows like a giant meme picture, like as if she inserted the email of Elon laughing, saying, "Please don't come back, thank you," or something like that. And like it went viral, like 1 million likes on TikTok, because people believe that that's how they got fired.
I mean, that's misinformation for you, right?
Oh,
Like,
yes, but it is
fast.
hilarious, because if you go on his profile, he's definitely not a Twitter employee.
And then another Twitter employee tweeted out, once Elon took over, he tweeted, "Just another day commuting to Twitter HQ in my Tesla vehicle, a great carb made by a great man." And then he followed it up after he was fired, and he said, "I can't believe that this tweet didn't work."
He lost his job.
Yep.
On the Twitter piece, actually, a couple more things to add to it. A couple of fun facts. So usage, daily active users are actually at all-time high right now.
Yeah.
So the app's being used more than ever. And also, they got like a huge, it's like cyber attack of like hate. And then they were able to shut it down. It was like a bunch of bot farms that were running like hate. No one was seeing it, but they can monitor like hate speech on the platform.
Yeah.
And it was like up 500%. I think actually it was like in the press because they didn't fact check, and they just like basically thought that people were like becoming more hateful. Like,
It's like, the thing is that a lot of people, as this is a tough subject to go forward with, right? But a lot of people who feel empowered by like racism or anti-Semitism, whatever like bad thing there is, they feel empowerment when someone like Elon makes something like free speech, even though that's technically not what he's talking about, right? Like he's talking about more critical thinking. I think that's
ideas, not hate speech.
Yeah, so
freedom of ideas.
So you have a bunch of people coming in, they're saying the N-word. You have a bunch of people saying like Elon's my savior and like KKK stuff. But that's definitely not exactly.
Well, so here's the thing: is they're actually not even real people. So it was a 4chan attack. That was a coordinated attack, and it was all bots that had no followers. So when you monitor the speech on Twitter, you would see like certain phrases and words increased by 5-fold, but they were not actual people that were being seen by actual people. It was just frequencies on the radio wave, and it was shut down. And I guess Elon has a very aggressive like policy in place to like shut down hate speech, and it's actually at lower levels than ever before.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
so hate speech on the platform is lower than pre-Elon levels now, which I just thought was crazy. Like, based on the monitoring.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when it's private now. I know as well too that he's talking about a lot of advertisers are pulling out. So I think he's also trying his best to like make sure that it's an advertisable platform still.
Yep. Yeah, and the call I was on today, like the Twitter Spaces, was actually for advertisers. It was like an advertiser call.
Okay. And
all the brands were in there. I could see them all. Like Wendy's
nice.
And I actually took a screenshot.
That's hilarious.
They were all like sitting there listening, and it's interesting. He's promising like it's gonna be like one of the best places to advertise on. There's you can see
Wendy's, Forbes, history. Chick-fil-A was there. Chipotle.
Yeah. Walgreens.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
TMZ was in there too, probably looking for some sound bites.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when we talked about it last week, you didn't think too much would change. You were thinking it would stay mostly the same. Now that you've seen how he's been behaving, do you think that's going to be different than you expected?
I still think it's going to be the same roughly. Like, I don't think pardon me, sorry?
You think the app's going to be the same?
I think so. Like, I think at the moment there's it's still just same old Twitter, at the end of the day. That boost of hate speech, like, sure, it was bots, right? I mean, you go on Twitter whenever, you're always going to see racist comments, like all that kind of stuff. You always see.
But features wise, because he's talking about in the call today that they are completely like redoing a bunch of the code, taking like 3 different systems, turning it into one. He's developing long form content, video content, and he's also
you can already do on the platform already. But I mean,
no, there's limits. He said that like there's a limit right now. He's going to get rid of the limit.
So you can put like an hour-long video on stuff?
Yeah, he basically said that Twitter right now doesn't have the capacity to do truly long-form video.
Yeah.
At like podcasts and stuff. And he said that they're rewriting code to the infrastructure. He said there's like a lot of work his engineers are doing.
Again, I'm really hoping, because I love Twitter, right? I'm not the biggest fan of Elon. but I am always happy to be proven, wrong, or be proven that things can get better. I think how do I feel about the first week? I'm not too optimistic because I don't like how half baked everything was, and like I get that was kind of their thing. Like people were staying overnight to do this type of stuff.
No, they weren't. They were. He had people on shifts, but like it wasn't 24/7. He was switching between teams in different time zones.
Yeah, but some people like slept at the office.
But that might have not been like forced on them.
But
like, it would have been within the realm of like workers' rights.
It would have been there's no union for programmers, right? Like that's kind of.
But they have employment contracts. Like we can't ask Storm to stay here for 12 hours.
Yeah, but we also aren't
Yeah,
billionaires.
here I am.
I know.
So it's like.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, oh God, that's a funny joke.
What did I miss?
I said, yet here I am.
6:05. No, that was good. But I'm excited to see what's coming next. I think it's very interesting, but yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I think everything's half baked by design. I think that's. I think what it'll be, he'll do everything half baked, but he'll still output like 10 times faster.
And I agree with that model. Like we do it here at our company. Like to me,
Pivot.
Yeah, I feel like it's better to release something that people use and get that user testing ASAP, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about the verification system at the moment. I'm still skeptical of that.
I understand the incentives. Like I understand like what he was saying about how right now bot farms and stuff that can like get 500 of them. Now they would need 500 different credit cards, and they have to pay 500 times $8, and then they would lose all that money once they get banned. So he's using capitalism to like reverse engineer the crime that's happening.
Should we make stickers that say like bot farmers feed cities or something like that? Just like do like a whole
Bumpers?
campaign.
The thing is too is that it's like it kind of like it gets rid of one type, and that's spam. It mostly gets rid of spam, which is good, right?
Yeah.
That no one's gonna pay like $800 to buy like 100 bots, right?
Yeah.
But it's but scams are still, if not, it could even be even harder, especially for those people that might not be in the know in the Twitterverse right now, who are most susceptible to scams.
Yeah, we have to see how well they protect against impersonation, because they have to be really aggressive with it. Like basically being like they might have like an AI engine or something that sees your profile and finds another profile that looks like it.
Yeah.
That's already, and then is like, okay, this is flagged for validation. Then has a human verify.
How about this? Ban NFTs, ban crypto completely off the platform.
Then you won't have any issues. Like if you just ban the word NFT like in the comments, you'll get rid of half the scams. Right? Yeah. That might be honestly a good strategy. I think time will only tell. I think we'll see short form content, long form content. I think he even talked about e-commerce. Like how we're talking about TikTok right now. Mm-hmm. He was talking about e-commerce on the platform. And about creator economy, where you benefit from the advertising.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Those are big changes to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just really curious how they're going to approach it. Something that I did think was really cool is that he and this is the one thing that you gotta love about Elon, love him or hate him, right? But I love that he is very open to feedback, and like he's always replying. Like, you don't see any other CEOs talking directly to their consumers.
So I don't know why you don't like him.
What?
So I don't know why you don't like him.
Because he is a fucking lunatic. That's why. I don't hate him. You are a lunatic, yeah.
Okay. So
not like that. I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody.
But you just like him.
I'm not a big fan of him. No.
He's my favorite out of all the CEOs.
I know. We know.
CEOs, right? Not my favorite person.
You're my favorite.
Oh, thanks.
This whole Twitter thing is just, it's a movie.
It's good. It's good. There's going to be a movie about it.
Oh, yeah. And maybe you'll play at AMC, and maybe you'll watch it over Zoom. Did you get that reference, Lee?
Why do you say that, Lewis?
Well, AMC is allowing companies to rent rooms out for conferences that will allow them to watch movies, talk business, and more. AMC hopes to make money from the renting costs as well as the food and beverage sales. So what's going on here is that Zoom and AMC Theaters, which is one of the biggest theater chains in the States,
yes,
are trying to so AMC is trying to like repurpose their movie theaters, which
to do what? To help teams watch movies together,
like to do a better hybrid kind of situation. So the details are not like really set in stone right now, and I also have some more stuff from Zoomtopia.
What the hell is that?
It's where that fox and bunny run around, but on Zoom.
Zoomtopia. That's what I was thinking too. The movie.
But so anyway, I think what AMC is trying to do is they're desperately trying to find ways that they can like repurpose the movie theater, since consumers aren't going there anymore. They're thinking, how can we make this pivoted towards businesses that want to like better integrate with their hybrid teams?
And AMC is a meme stock too, so it's interesting actually trying to find like innovative ways to add value.
Yeah.
People might actually start buying it for a good business proposition.
But is
Who
this
knows?
is this valuable though?
I mean, it's like
It seems weird.
here's the thing, it is a bit weird, and it is definitely a bit of a stretch. But if we look at the current way things are, a lot of people are hybrid, so a lot of businesses might go on this to kind of maybe enforce some sort of like work protocol. It's almost like they're making some sort of like hybrid co-working space. Which
Wait,
I have some-
Zoomtopia or AMC's like movie theater thing?
AMC, yes, sorry. Zoomtopia is an event that happened where they announce. It's kind of like their annual event, right?
Okay.
Yeah, which I have more stuff to announce.
So wait, I'm not getting this. So in the movie theater, you're supposed to watch movies as a team?
So it's not like So there's like I think they're going to repurpose a lot of the rooms, so it's not like just like 4 people sitting in a room, a big movie theater, and you see people on the big screen. I think they're repurposing this big real estate to have conference rooms, to maybe have smaller movie theaters where you can watch movies in the movie theater with other people watching over Zoom or at another.
How functional is that for corporate America? How does corporate America need giant theaters right now?
What?
I don't get it. Am I missing something?
Like it's for team culture.
What? Are you serious?
Well, what? So what's your objections then? Here,
Like, how do the remote workers watch the movie?
they watch it at the AMC theater near them.
This is for real?
You
So
know?
just like, can we just do a quick like scenario? Like, so you
Yeah.
work at a company.
Okay, so
you go to the one in your town.
Tomorrow Inc. Okay, so we'll do it for us. Okay, and so we have 2 remote workers, both from different cities, and everyone else is here. We go to AMC theaters. We rent out a conference room with the small movie theater. Okay.
So a pretty large one, considering it's a movie theater.
Well, like it's but I think they're repurposing them to be smaller rooms, so you're not watching like a 100 seat place. It's going to have like maybe a 30 or something.
Okay.
So
Did it state that?
I think so.
Okay.
It was an article, and then what you do there is that everyone can watch a movie together. Like
So-
You can also, say if you have a company of 75 people,
Okay.
and you want like motivational speech from the CEO who's remote or something like that, or someone from another company to teach them or something like that. It's like a giant conference room that way too.
yeah.
Okay. So watch the economics of this breakdown pretty fucking fast.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Everyone that's at like the headquarters city can fill up a room. All the other remote workers live in buttfuck nowhere and are going to be sitting in a room by themselves.
Well, they can do it from home too, I assume.
Then what is the point?
So
How did you improve the whole hybrid work culture if they're just calling from home? Also, even if the company can afford to rent the AMC in your area,
it might be a licensing issue. Like you can't, because like we're talking about corporate here, right? We're talking about like enterprise.
Dude, we have bigger problems to solve. If this is, by the way, it's the 75 to 150 seat rooms.
Okay.
So this is weird.
I mean, it's like just because we have bigger problems to solve doesn't mean
No,
we
but
can
I don't
solve
even
this
think
one.
I don't even think anyone's gonna use. I mean, maybe I'm like missing something huge here, but this seems
I don't know if you are, because to me
this seems useless.
Yeah, but can we talk about Zoomtopia for a
Yes.
second, okay?
Maybe this has more function to it.
So-
Zoomtopia. We'll see.
Well, okay, Zoomtopia. Zoomtopia is the event that Zoom hosts.
Okay.
Okay, Zoomtopia. You don't like Zoomtopia is like the utopia of the future, unless maybe. Anyway, they announced some new things, okay, and this might not be too crazy to you, consumers back at home, but for business people, this might be pretty intense, okay. They announced Zoom Mail and Calendar. Okay, so Zoom is looking to combat Gmail and Google Calendar.
Wow.
The Zoom Mail and Calendar services beta are targeted at small to medium businesses who particularly value email privacy. So Zoom has this client coming out where you can have your email, you can have your calendar, you can have your team chat, all in one.
Wait,
all
team
in one,
chat like a Slack?
like a Slack, exactly like Slack. So it's like they're combining Slack, Google Calendar, Gmail, and everything into one single application.
Okay. Also, they have this Zoom Spots. Do you want to mention something about the video-enabled co-working space? What? Did you have that on the list?
Yeah, I feel like
Sorry,
everything I say, you're
I'm reading the article with you.
bro,
and
you're
I'm like,
freaking blue balls like me every single time.
Oh, shit.
Like you're literally like,
I'm
oh,
Zoom balling you. Okay, go ahead.
oh.
Tell me about Zoom spots.
Yeah. So Zoom co-working is about to exist. So coming in early 2023, Zoom Spots is Zoom's virtual co-working space. It is designed to to foster inclusive discussions, bringing the fluid interaction of in-person work to distributed hybrid teams throughout their workday. That sounds very buzzwordy, FYI. Zoom Spots replicates the working alongside aspect of an open office for workers and encourages free-form video-first conversation. So it's kind of like you have like, it's funny how they didn't mention it like this, but you just have your camera and your mic on all day and you're like working alongside other people, which is kind of like, isn't that like every worker's worst nightmare?
We don't do that at the office. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we don't sit right next to each other. Like, you know, it doesn't.
But what I mean though is that, like, I mean, when you work at an office, you do feel some sort of like accountability, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be on like, you know, miniclip.com or addictinggames.com, like playing some friggin' kitty cannon while everyone else is like
Grinding.
working next to me. Yeah, exactly. But when you're at home, you know, launching a kitty out of a cannon sounds pretty fun for 5 minutes, right?
Which is why everyone has to go back to the office.
Well, I don't think, but the thing is, hybrid is here to stay.
It's not.
Yeah, it is. Virtual.
I think hybrid's here to stay, but the way that the capacity during the pandemic is not sustainable. That's why all the companies are bringing their employees back.
Yeah, but not every people are going to stay virtual.
Yeah, 100%. People that are remarkable can work from wherever they, and before the pandemic they already were. Remarkable people were able to work remotely.
But I think more people are like, but the thing is that if the stats, metrics, whatever, people are going to, like, more people than ever are going virtual. And like, I think
it'll look similar to Shopify's e-commerce projections chart, where the pandemic sped it up, and the assumption was that we have left the mean, the mean average. We've left the mean and deviated, and we have new trajectory. And then they were wrong, and it went right back to the mean, as if that blip never happened. Yeah. I think that's what's happening with remote working. I think remote working came in and spiked it, but we're back on track to. I don't think
I think it definitely. I don't know if it's going right back to where it was, because I think a lot of people now are realizing, like, that's the one thing that they realize that they can get away with that you can't really with other things, such as like hiring a bunch of people, right? Like, kind of what the Shopify, was it e-commerce sales you said? Sorry.
Yeah, Shopify basically projected e-commerce was because it blew up during the pandemic. That was going to speed up the trajectory, but it ended up returning back to the mean.
And same with employment too, which actually, sorry, tangent alert. Meta, did you hear about that?
Yeah, they're going to, thousands of people are going to get laid off.
They just announced it, 11,000. 11,000.
Out of their, what, 70-something thousand?
I think 82,000. Okay. Down. They're laying off 11,000. So I think I calculated it because Sean and I were just talking about it there. About 11% of the workforce.
More to come.
You think more to come
after
that?
They'll lay off more. They're not like Elon did 50 right on, like, boom, like that.
Yeah.
Meta's not like that. The fact that they did this is there's going to be more.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because if you think about it, like Elon, like he took the company private. He was going to act 50%. That was like no one was ever expecting that, right? Or sorry, everyone was expecting that. That was to expectations. I wonder if like maybe the stock price of it going down is going to make more layoffs happen.
What Elon's doing actually is making more layoffs happen, period. Because if
is setting a precedent throughout the industry.
Because Google did the opposite. When Google started hiring everybody and offering them $500,000 a year and giving them all the perks, it made it so competitive that everyone had to do that, and then they had to price that into their services, and then they had to raise the money to support it, and everyone was doing it, so it was fine. What Elon's done is the recession's part of it, but what he's done with one of the biggest companies, Twitter, like, it's a huge social media company, he set a different precedent. And he switched the demand supply chain dynamic, where now, as soon as that switches, it has a big downwards effect, where now engineers that were once, or tech workers in period, that were once very high in demand, now the opposite's happening. And what's going to happen is companies can actually be less competitive with all the compensation, the benefits, everything. And it'll have a downward effect, where now they're going to be fighting for the fewer jobs, and because they're fighting for it, they'll take less, and it'll have the downward effect. Yeah. So
that's how they're going to unionize.
Maybe, tech workers unionizing, like it across disciplines, or just like engineers specifically.
Well, like probably like software engineers. Like I'm just thinking, because beforehand, there was actually an incentive to not unionize as a software
Oh,
engineer. Because you got like freaking $500,000, you got to slide down to the cafeteria. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it made sense.
screw you. I ain't taking $100K minimum. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Can't
But
call
now-
them software engineers
but
anymore.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Well, actually, we're not in Alberta.
We're not in Alberta. We're good.
It'll have the opposite effect though. Like the thing is, the only reason they were able to do that is because they were it was all priced in. So when you pay for Google services, or you pay for when advertisers pay for Facebook ads, they were just paying for these Silicon Valley companies to pamper the shit out of their staff and also overhire. So now that we're in a recession, everyone's gonna be more competitive with dollars. Inflationary environments, people have less disposable dollars. What's going to happen is they're going to compete away the profit, and they're not going to be able to afford the same rates, even if they could. So it's not like the corporations are going to be able to, oh wow, all of our engineers get paid one quarter now. Like we have extra profits. No, because they're competing with each other, so they're going to lower the price till it gets equilibrium.
That's
and then it'll be obviously tougher to be an engineer than it was before.
Yeah. Well, that's where I see potential unionization right there, right? Because people are not going to be happy about that, and that's usually how it starts. So we'll soon see. But speaking of a downward spiral, Storm, you have some very sad news.
Very downward spirally.
Some crazy stuff going on, guys.
So what's going on here?
So, Binance versus FTX. That's the headline. Two biggest crypto exchanges. On one side, you have CZ, who's the CEO of Binance.
Okay, Binance.
CZ.
I know
CZ.
Binance.
And on the other side, you have SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, who's the CEO of FTX. 1 and 2, respectively, biggest exchanges for cryptocurrency.
Why do crypto people just love acronyms?
Yeah.
SPF, NFT, CDC,
CC.
CC,
SBF.
CZ, FBF.
But CZ, actually, who was born in China, is actually Canadian.
Oh.
He went to McGill University. Maybe it should be CZ instead of CZ. I think that's how we have to refer to him.
Nice.
Love that. Love that.
And let me tell you guys about how this Canadian wrecked an American harder than the 2010 gold medal hockey game. Which is like such a Canadian thing for me to say. Yeah. Only the Canadian listeners will follow me there, but let's just say Crosby and Iginla smoked the Americans in the Olympics there. But why does this matter? They're the top two exchanges. They're huge rivals. It's like Lakers versus Celtics, or to keep the Canadian analogy going, Maple Leafs, Montreal Canadiens. Wow. Some hockey references. The American listeners are tuning right out at this point. So the backstory, they weren't always competitive. At the beginning, Binance was actually a early investor in FTX. It was a happy marriage. Binance helped FTX. FTX helped Binance. And CZ was kind of like a big brother to SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. Things suddenly ended in 2021 when FTX bought out Binance's remaining shares and the company marriage was over. In exchange, Binance received $2.1 billion, which a lot of it was paid out in FTT, which is FTX's token.
Okay.
So it wasn't direct buyout that way. Now the two CEOs are taking lots of shots at each other after that marriage ended. Even Sam Bankman-Fried calling CZ out on his ability to do business in the States because of his citizenship. Shots fired like back and forth.
Wow.
So this past weekend, I know there's a lot of things going on here, but CZ announced that they are going to sell all of their a majority of their FTT, this kind of made up token from FTX. And since they were such a large holder of this, things kind of plummeted for FTX, if that makes sense. I know there's a lot of pieces going on here.
Yeah. So
basically they basically plummeted the price because they had so much volume that if they just liquidated all of it at once, it would drop the price on the open market.
FTX, they spent the customers' money essentially, and they didn't have enough to give them back to their customers.
It's a bit oversimplified. Are you getting to that, Storm?
You can hop in there. Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, start from the beginning is that the competitor held FTX's token.
Okay.
And that's a token that Binance held FTX's token and a significant portion, an amount that was not responsible for them to
give away.
And with one person. Because if somebody has, I mean, just imagine if somebody had 20% of Bitcoin and then one day just sold it at the whatever price possible.
Yeah.
It would drop the price dramatically, right? So he had the ability to do that. And then I guess what he must have known something. He must have known that they were kind of like close to insolvent, and wouldn't be able to cover their losses. And that most of their assets that were covering their liabilities were their actual token themselves. So when CZ sold liquidated his FTT, it made FTX's balance sheet go upside down. Now they have their assets are plummeting, but they have all these liabilities, and then people start withdrawing, and they have to cover them, but they have no assets to leverage.
Yeah.
And that's how Storm, I'll let you finish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish.
There's a couple differences between how they think the sector should run, like from how information is handled. So that's kind of the main reason why they wanted to sell. CZ said that they learned from Luna. We're not going to pretend to make love after the divorce. We're not against anyone, but we won't support anyone who lobbies against other industry players behind their backs. So there's some political shots were taken. So then everybody was like, is FTX in trouble? No one knew what was happening. Sam Bankman-Fried said FTX is fine. So that was the weekend story. Now we go into yesterday, November 8th, and this is where we're going to leave it off for today, and maybe we'll catch up a little bit of the aftershock next week. But Binance has entered in an agreement to buy FTX. So after all that, they watched it collapse and everything like that, and SBF is known for saving a bunch of crypto platforms and projects in this last downward spiral. Now he's the one that's being saved. Apparently the acquisition price was $1. Some on some Alaska shit there where remember where Alaska was bought for $1 kind of.
Oh, I remember
feels
that day. That was a good day.
That was a good day. That was a big day.
Is that confirmed, the $1 thing?
It was
just rumored.
That was rumored.
Because if that's the case, I think Sequoia, Tiger, the Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, they all invested at a $25 billion valuation.
Yeah, I saw Tom Brady freaking
yes, he
put
did
a lot
too.
of money.
He wasn't a lead, but he invested.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was no words coming from the FTX team once this was announced. Everyone's like, what the heck's going on? Then the withdrawals got paused on the platform. So people are like, okay, this is really messed up now. Everyone's trying to figure it out. And I guess they're being bought out by FTX. So that's kind of what was happening yesterday. CZ cleared up the news for everyone with his announcement. He said, FTX was in trouble. We bought them to save them, which is just such a baller thing to tweet out.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's the crazy crypto story right now. And that's the reason why it's been down 15% every single day for the last couple of days. And
here's the thing. Okay. What's funny is that this reminds me. So I know we talk about a lot of crypto people, right? They have that libertarian mindset where they don't want no government interference, whatever. Okay. Fair enough. But we're basically looking at a 2008 financial crisis in the crypto space right now. That almost seems like a trend almost,
Also, how is it decentralized if this one guy is monopolized the exchange?
Yep.
I would argue governments are more central or decentralized because they have an aggregate of people that are, that are elected through the population, and they make decisions on policy.
Yeah. I'm just it's funny because when we talk about unregulated markets, how far can we go here? Okay. We're just letting this thing slide. We're letting lots of people lose their money.
Who's bailing out CZ, right? And this is what me and Lewis, every week we talk about crypto, and me and Lewis are pretty much on the same page. We're very skeptical, and I pretty much believe that everything about crypto is a Ponzi scheme for the most part. Yeah. If anything, I would be I talked to somebody today, and he said, I think you're more of a Bitcoin maximalist, the way that you think. And I was like, yeah, that sounds actually maybe.
What does that even mean?
It just basically means that you just believe there should only be one cryptocurrency, and that all the NFT projects and the blockchain has value, but you just see, the scarcity is lost the more there are. So there just needs to be one really good one.
I just that's what I'm saying is that I feel like the utility aspect of blockchain serves a purpose, right? So I believe in the utility aspect of blockchain. I always have it. Yeah, me and you, as always, it is like a Ponzi scheme. It's fool's gold. I
don't see the value created. I still don't. I still don't know how all this money goes into this thing, and what value has it created people tangibly.
It's
I think more in other countries other than our own.
Yeah. In other countries,
people were using it as an inflation hedge, but it's just been getting wrecked as well. So it's kind of hard to even call it that. But
it's also good to like you said, for other countries that are trying to avoid some sort of like tracking, censorship, like there's a reason China banned blockchain, right? Because like they can't track the money. That's the best way to like anonymously send you money for something.
Where they don't have modern banking, it makes sense. But what I'm saying is, okay, you don't have modern banking, but they had cell phones and they just needed infrastructure. Yeah. So like you didn't need $1 trillion of money flowing around to help people in Africa like send e-transfers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like that's where I get confused. Like, why is there so much movement and so much financial movement and investment, and then what value was created for the world? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's definitely value. I don't disagree, but like, it doesn't like add up to the, you know what I mean? The amount of value that's been spent. And that's why, I mean, everyone that's invested in like all these venture capital firms that are all dumping all this money at massive valuations are all getting like fucked. Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it is. It's a hope for wealth transfer. They want to take they want to take the top 1% of money, just bring it back down to them, to the 10%, whatever it might be. In my opinion, I think it's just a load of bogus. I do see the utility aspect. I'm trying to think here. And it just sucks because, again, this is like crypto. Like if you talk to any libertarian out there, they'll like swear by crypto, right? Because they're like, I can have my own money. I don't got to pay taxes. I can keep it away from the government, whatever. But the thing is that like,
that only works so far for so
long.
Like
we as a society, like I can understand being skeptical where your taxes are going or how much we're spending on whatever, you know, getting political here, but like,
what if everyone did that?
Yeah.
Then how would we have public services?
So now you got to freaking pay for your own police officers.
I think the blockchain actually creates more of a paper trail than money does, because you can see it etched in the block forever, right? So,
yeah. It's just that IP. It's just that your wallet address doesn't have any identification. Is that correct? But unless the
government used a blockchain, right? And I think you're seeing, isn't there a country that's using a blockchain for their like they're building their fucking city on Bitcoin? Or
something like that. But I think as well too.
El Salvador.
Yeah. But also too, you have to like submit your verification to Binance or whatever anyway.
Yeah.
So like
the exchanges have, and again, I think there's value in the blockchain. I think this is obviously not all like a fad for no reason, but I feel like it's kind of like the .com bubble where like people, the first wave was like misunderstood value and Ponzi schemes and people getting too excited, and then it's going to burst, and then the real value will resurrect. I think that's what we're going to see happen.
Do you know what might not resurrect though, Lee?
What's that?
Carvana.
What happened to Carvana?
So do you know about Carvana?
The company? Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually am new to this. So for all the audience, Carvana, okay? So Carvana is like a vending machine for cars.
Have you seen them like the parking lots before?
Yeah, they're high like glass, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. So the company's stock has plummeted from its pandemic highs. So we were talking about the Shopify graph, right? This looks like it's even worse. Carvana has 34 vending machines across the US, and the glass structures can hold anywhere from around 20 to 40 cars. That's pretty impressive, you know, especially like I never really thought, because it is mostly e-commerce. That's where Carvana is like trying to get their value. It's pretty interesting that they can like do a showcase vertically rather than horizontally. So when in-person shopping slowed during the pandemic, Carvana's online business boomed, pushing its stock from $29.35 in March of 2020 to $360.98 in August of 2021. So that's like insane gains. The stock is now down over 98%, and bankruptcy is looking like it might happen.
Oh my God.
So
they went from $337 to $7?
Bro, that's like GameStop. That's actually I think GameStop is at a better. Yeah.
Holy cow. I never realized how bad that was.
It's nuts. So anyway, COVID restrictions are gone and people want to go in person now. So that's like a huge part of it. And to me, when we think, e-commerce is beneficial in most ways. Like, for example, if you want to buy a video game, you don't need to go to GameStop to do that. Or if you want to go buy clothes, that's another good way people can do stuff. But a car, you kind of want to do in person a little bit. I want to get the feel of the car specifically, especially since I'm spending a lot of money. And then also higher interest rates from inflation. And it's just making it much harder to loan something or finance as well. So the mix of the two is definitely a really bad sign.
The catastrophe here, if you anyone that freaking invested in this is getting completely murked.
What do you guys think of it as a business idea?
So I don't think it's a bad idea. So my issue with it particularly, why I wouldn't have invested it in the first place during the pandemic, is because I just don't think they have the defensibility of the existing market's too strong. So like, yes, when you're buying online during the pandemic, and the dealerships are closed, sure. And if everyone was like Tesla and sold like, without dealerships,
Yep.
sure. But like all those people are going to go back to their jobs, and all their friends and family and networks that, that are used to that way of doing things are going to go back. And people that already works.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's not a perfect system, but like to disrupt it when all those people are like working that way that they're working.
Yeah.
It's like they got their feet in the ground. It's like deep roots. You know what I mean? So
I'm thinking a lot of people thought like when the pandemic hit and that we were like a year and a half into it and like restrictions were still there. I think a lot of these companies were going to assume that we're in this for a long, long time, because I remember restrictions almost like got lifted like pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Like almost abruptly almost, So like everyone just kind of went back to normal.
And also, like, what is so valuable about it? Because, like, I can buy cars online through other platforms, too, no? Like, is there something unique about
I think it just might be, like, they can hold inventory space.
But, I mean, not even effectively. That can't be cheap how they're... Like, I think you're better with an underground parking lot or something.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, glass,
Yeah.
20-story glass building. Like, I don't know if that actually is even a cost of... Also, like, all the people buying cars are not always in, big metros.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like how do we...
Yeah, like
participate
in a small city, yeah.
Yeah. So like it's not distributed. Like the total addressable market.
So it's an absolute L, is what you're saying.
I just don't like it enough. I don't know. I actually don't know about their business, like why people, because like it was at a high price at once upon a time. So there must have been some reason that people believed it was worth $360 a stock. I just don't know enough about the company to get why.
I think pandemic really just hit everyone. People thought we really were seeing with all these tech layoffs, right? I think people just really are kind of thinking that the pandemic was supposed to last a lot longer, or the effects of after it was going to be a lot higher than it actually
people wouldn't
was.
want to go to see a dealer in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I also see here that when you wanted to sell your car too, they could buy your car if you weren't able to like store it anymore. So they can take it, like maybe that was like helping clear out driveways and garages as well.
what would be cool is if you did like a monthly rental or something, like you'd have like a monthly plan at all these things, and you can take it there and get like a new car every single time.
That's someone's doing that.
kind of like a U-Haul.
Someone's doing like a lease where you're not like where it's just a monthly payment, like a
okay.
higher monthly payment. I forget the name of the company, but
Like Enterprise or
Got
something.
like Zipcar too, where you can like it's like the bikes in Toronto and stuff, where you just like pick up a car,
pick up a car, drive it for a bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
drop it off.
That's hilarious.
I mean, Carvana has the lots for that. That actually would make sense. But yeah, I just don't like the business, so it's too bad. Sorry for anyone that invested in Carvana.
Yeah. Speaking of cars and modes of transportation, remember back in the day when our cars used to eat hay?
Yeah, like horses. Yeah.
Horses.
Yeah, and I mean now they
got rid of the
gas, and now
They got rid of hay.
Now they're getting rid of the okay.
The Hey Siri. They're getting rid of Hey and
That was
Siri.
pretty good. Eh? I wanted to make the most convoluted transition possible there.
That was like tinfoil hat level.
So Apple's also getting rid of the hay storm, much like the American automobile industry did.
Wow. Horses don't eat no
There's
more.
not even much to say about this really. Then I'm glad they're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, how annoying is it to be like, "Hey Siri, hey Siri," you know what I mean? Did I activate anything?
I don't know.
Yep.
I was worried. I hate Siri.
Yeah, Siri's not good.
Siri's not good. Fuck. You
the
did
problem?
it.
What's the problem?
You know what though? Burger King did that once where they said, like, want the best. It's like, what's the? It's like, do you want to know our marketing campaign? It was like before a YouTube ad. It's like, hey Google, search Burger King near you or something like that, and it popped up like that on your phone if you had it next to you while you're playing a YouTube video. It was kind of funny, but actually it kind of went bad because someone changed the Wikipedia article to say some like really racist stuff.
Oh.
So like it said like Burger King is a whatever.
And it backfired.
Yeah. So
Damn. I'm glad they did it. I think that I'll use Siri more, but I hope Siri gets better.
yeah, I hope so too. I just, you know what it might be as well here, Lee? I'm not comfortable using voice assistants that much.
Yeah, it's weird.
I
like pushing a button. Like I like
Yeah.
pressing the button and then the Siri pops up and then I ask what I need.
I find that like me, I don't know. I feel like every time I say like, "Hey Google, turn on the lights," "Hey Google, turn off the TV," it feels more like a party trick than anything.
Yeah, it feels if you feel annoying saying it and you annoy yourself.
Yeah.
You annoy your honestly that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
When you engage with these virtual assistants, you annoy yourself.
Yeah, the $60 it costs for a voice assistant plus the setup time that you do for it, all for like a cool like 1 minute party trick.
Yeah. Hey Siri.
Hey
dim the
guys,
lights.
look at how impressive I am.
My smart home.
Yeah, freaking crazy.
And also, you always feel like you're yelling it. You're not like, "Hey Siri, can you do that?" It's like not casual.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, "Hey Siri, who's the lead singer of that band?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Also, I feel like 40% of the time you do have to repeat yourself.
Yep. It's not good.
So
They're saying by removing the hey that they're going to speed up back-to-back requests. So they want to move your requests quicker through by dropping one word.
Oh, back-to-back requests. They suck with hey, because you have to go, "Hey Siri, what time is it?" And you have to- okay, and then you go, and then you have to say, "Hey Siri."
There's an Apple device in here listening to us.
oh
my iPad.
wow, that's hilarious.
And then you have to say it again. So yeah, this makes sense for back-to-back requests.
Well, I hope they snip it. Oh, I don't know if you're. Well, I hope they snip it, Lee.
Yeah. Over to the snips. I actually only have one, and then Lee has one that he's going to share with us from Sam in our office, who is sharing some fire articles with it. Keep it up, Sam. With us. Keep it up, Sam. The first one, I think we've kind of already talked about.
Yeah, we already
Elon
talked about
a
this.
bunch. Just that the user growth is an all-time high. Lee's using it now, so I guess that helped the numbers. Way to go, Lee.
Yeah, Lee's there.
Can I just say, like, I've been told that Twitter is like great value. And
Like great value, bad.
like a great value, like good, like great value to use.
Oh, I thought you meant like great value of like the no-name version.
No,
Okay.
great value in a good way. I'm learning so much shit on Twitter. Like I didn't use it before. Now
Yeah.
the one thing I'm realizing is that I might learn too much shit, and it'll paralyze me.
Oh.
Because like I'll have too much information to like I won't be able to act on it. It's already happening where I'm like seeing these threads. It's like 10 things to like optimize your website conversions, and I'm like, okay, write this down, save this in my notes, and I'm like, it's almost like information overload, you know?
Yeah.
So I might literally have to take a break from it.
Yeah.
You
And
just toss it in your likes. You like it, and then just maybe set a reminder for yourself when you have time to come back and like
Yeah.
read one of them
That's
and
my
actually do
problem.
a deep dive
Yeah.
with it.
Like,
But
Twitter is
you have to hack it.
Twitter is
For
a
sure.
good. That's why I like about Twitter a lot is it kind of optimizes your feed to what you're reading. Which no, it's
the
an
algorithm's
algorithm.
surprisingly good. Elon mentioned today in the call. He said the nice thing about Twitter is when you spend an hour on it, you don't get off the app and go, "Oh, damn, I just like spent like an hour on Twitter," like with the regret. You think it's not like hyper addictive with regret afterwards. And I was like, "Yo, that's real." Like you guys know me, I'm not a big social media guy.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't feel good when I use any of the apps. So I don't use Instagram or Facebook or whatever, right? But he's right about Twitter. Like I never feel gross. I just feel like, wow, that was informative or educational and entertaining, funny. Like somebody made a hilarious joke. Like it's up there with YouTube. I think Twitter and YouTube are my two favorite apps right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you waiting for Elon to buy YouTube?
No, I just like, but here's the thing. I didn't know it though, right? I did. So like,
Yeah.
I don't like it because what Elon's done to it, because he hasn't changed much.
Like anything, really, yeah.
Yeah, like the thing that he changed, I don't use. I don't have Twitter Blue. I just didn't really like think about Twitter till he was on it, and then so he like introduced me to it.
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
it's the best way to
cool.
put it.
That's cool. Welcome to Twitter.
What's your favorite app, Lewis? On that note,
My favorite app. I don't know.
or platform to hang out.
Social media. What social media do you spend the most time on?
Spend the most time on is probably TikTok. That's like best because it's funny and informative, but I do feel crappy after using it for a long time. Sometimes I'm like, I'm on this for way too long. Twitter is good, but it's like, I feel like it's the most anxiety inducing because there's the most like the most hostility according to any platform.
Oh yeah.
So like that's but I like that as well. So Twitter and TikTok are probably my two favorite. Instagram is like I find Facebook more entertaining than Instagram.
Yeah, both of them suck.
Yeah, Facebook groups are hilarious,
Yeah, Facebook groups are good.
but
Yeah, I my favorite's probably Twitter. I have 2 accounts that I made. I made a burner one way back in the day. Followed a bunch of comedians. So if I just want comedy hits, then I go to the one.
Smart.
And then if I want like to be involved and listen to actual stories and stuff, I'm on my other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how but I agree. Like I never even thought about it. Like Twitter's nice that I don't feel icky after using it. Like I can kind of hop off when I want to hop off because I'm like, I'm done reading now, right? But the other stuff kind of sucks you in a bit
Sucks
more.
you in.
Yeah.
It's easy to watch, like especially TikTok. Oh man, is it mind numbing?
Yeah. Yeah, TikTok's got.
I feel like there's not always like value added. I feel like I'm like learning or like thinking in a new comedic way when I go on Twitter because I get like new jokes for my brain to.
Yeah.
Here's actually a thought about this, and some people I think have already thought about this as well. When Elon talks about content creation, is when you incentivize creators to get optimized for watch time, it changes the quality of the content. And I think Twitter, because there's no like. The only incentive is if people really have a good quality experience, they'll follow you and retweet you. That's a really good incentive structure. When you incentivize people like you do on TikTok, where TikTok's like, make them not swipe up and then make them watch as long as possible and then make them share this with their friends. They're optimizing for like a certain type of viral content, which is why all the hook structures are like 5 things you didn't know, you know what I mean? And they like, and then but you can't see it. And you also can't really see how well it's performing. I mean, outside of it's not part of the experience. Like you as a user make a decision, and it's the same reason that YouTube has like the thumbnail issue, right? Where they for a long time it was like clickbait, and then now they've changed their algorithm to be more about watch quality. But they do it through surveys. It's like not very good, the algorithm on YouTube. So I think the incentives of content creators can kind of ruin Twitter for what it is right now. What I find is like everything's just like raw good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Feels
The thing is though too is that I find that like the way TikTok and YouTube are doing things where it has to catch your attention and stuff is like it's not like at all new. If anything, it's been in entertainment since entertainment was first a thing. Like if you look back at Shakespeare, all of Shakespeare's plays start off with a violent murder at the beginning and screaming and whatever because they need to capture your attention because back in the day look at this, I'm doing a rewind here.
Are you comparing Shakespeare to TikTok?
Definitely one's a little bit more philosophical, right? But what I'm saying though is that no matter what, people still don't want to watch stuff that's not entertaining right from the get-go because people have time. Like people don't want to waste their time, and I think Twitter is not going to be there's not going to be an exception there. That's why like even on Twitter I'll see like a lot of really good tweets that'll be like 10 things that will grow your business, right? Automatically is trying to suck you in to click on the thread, which I'm assuming then boosts you in the algorithm. So I'm interested to see. I don't think it's going to ruin the quality of the videos.
I didn't say it was going to ruin the quality, and I also don't say it was new. I just think the incentive on those creator platforms is different because they sensationalize things a bit differently than on Twitter, at least from my experience. Again, I'm not a big Twitter user. What I've found is that on Twitter, I get more unique perspective versus, like, for example, on TikTok, sometimes you might watch a video that has no value and they just fucked with you. Like, they're like, they did like this trick, they did a loop, or they did like this, they were going to reveal like this, like,
what's in the box, and then they don't end up doing it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like that kind of content that's literally just meant to game an algo versus like give value.
Yeah.
I see more of that on TikTok than any platform. See on YouTube still too, and then I think Twitter I've not seen any of it. So that type of like behavior where it's like I'm trying to game the algorithm more than I'm trying to provide the user value. And when it becomes like when there's cash incentive, like you're able to make money if people watch your video and watch the ads, it makes sense why they would do it. But might be fun.
Speaking of which, check out our TikTok. It's a good note to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not done yet, but I just wanted to say check out our TikTok.
Follow us on
and
social media.
And YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, I think no matter what, especially if there's money, people are going to want. They might still do the edging type of content where they like, what's in the box? Oh, I'm going to pull it out, and then it ends, right?
Do you guys watch a lot of edging content yourselves? Or,
Nope.
Speaking of being on the edge of your seat and killer content,
This is pretty fucked.
Oh my God, I saw this.
This is pretty fucked. So you guys know Palmer Luckey. I'm actually a fan of this guy.
I actually don't know who he is. Who is he?
Oh, so he's the guy that founded Oculus in his parents' trailer at like 18 or 19 or 20 years old.
Smart.
16 years old. I forget. Really young.
Yeah.
A very smart guy. And now he owns a very innovative military weapons company. I forget that it's called.
Actually, you were talking to me about him.
Yes,
Was he on a podcast?
He was on My First Million and me and Storm recently. I think you heard that episode too, right, Storm?
I have not yet.
Okay, so he has another company as well that does like military stuff now, and he had a big fallout with it's called Anduril Industries.
Okay.
So anyway, this guy, he's like total nerd.
He made the best of both worlds right here.
What do you mean?
Because he says an arms like creator company, right? Sorry, or arms dealer.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think not necessarily an arms dealer. I think he just because he actually manufactures and does all the R&D for the stuff. I don't know what you would actually call this kind of a company.
But either way, he's in weapons of some
a
sort.
defense company, autonomous focused defense technology company.
So he's in autonomous defense, and he made Oculus. It looks like he made the best of both worlds here.
Yeah, he actually wanted to do. So one of his first projects with VR was he was working on a university team, I believe, and they were making a headset for people with PTSD from the military. So it looks like right from the beginning, he was trying to help, people with pain.
Yeah.
Coming from that, and now he's trying to basically make it so humans don't even have to do that to begin with.
Yeah.
And by making it autonomous and building weapon systems that are autonomous and protect basically American soldiers.
Yeah.
So he's a very mission-driven entrepreneur, which is what I like, because you can tell he's just like very driven by the mission and what he's trying to accomplish.
And what's his new mission?
Right now, his mission, so his defense business is to basically make America the biggest threat in the world, so no one else fucks with anybody. But
that's already true.
Yeah, but to maintain it, because they're losing ground. But recently, he's built a prototype headset that will literally kill you in real life if you die in the game. And I think this comes from some like video game or like lore that he was like a part of as a younger, as like a community that's into this thing. And in this show or game or comic or whatever, there was a headset that would do this, and he was inspired by it, so he made a real version.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like everyone has had that thought when they were playing a game as a kid, like, oh my god, like, like you want to inspire yourself to do better. So you're like, all right, if I freaking pretend like I'm going to die in real life, well, because you're trying to make yourself anxious. Yeah.
Yeah, I always do that when I'm shooting free throws. I'm like, if I miss, my kids are gonna die, and then I just like
your kids. You don't even do yourself.
No, because I care about them way more than me.
Nice answer.
What's your free throw percentage?
It's not good enough.
30%. 2 your kids gotta go.
But that's true. I've actually thought the same thing when I was playing video games before. But the thing is, he's talking about it like it's gonna be a thing. And he's actually even saying that it needs to be a remote agent because
this is not just a troll or like a little viral moment.
No, he thinks there's going to be more of this, and that this is going to be like something that we'll see a lot more of. Because I think it's just like people need the stakes. There's people out there that are such gamers. They're like, I want.
No, you're shitting me.
I'm not, man.
Dude, stop fucking lying.
I'm not shitting you. I literally was reading it and I was confused because I thought there was a joke and there wasn't one. He ends the blog by simply saying, "You're going to see more of this. This is not going anywhere."
They said one of the things right now is that they're scared that it's going to accidentally kill people, and they only want to do it when it's absolutely necessary. Yeah, which was a wild line.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was a great example, Storm. Like
I got the article right here. For now, Lucky says that the headset is just a piece of office art, but also claims that it won't be the last deadly piece of VR technology. So like, part of me wonders if he was like, I mean, because the quote, it's just a quote there. I wonder if he's saying that like people are going to adopt this in the future, or if he's saying he's about to make something.
No, I think I just think he sees this as a tool that's actually functional. I think he sees this as a user experience people desire.
This is like Guantanamo Bay freaking technology right here.
So he couldn't do the radio waves. So what he's done is he's put 3 little explosives in the headset, and you can't take it off. If you take it off, it blows up.
Oh my fuck!
Yeah.
So once
you're exactly
Squid Game 3 coming out with
bro, dude, that's how this guy is Squid Games, man, and he just got leaked.
And that's what he thinks. So he thinks that people will want this, and that's the thing that really made me start to question myself, because I thought it was a joke too.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't joking, and then he said he hasn't tested it because he's nervous it might detonate for the wrong reason, accidentally detonate and kill him.
Duh.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm only playing easy mode on these games.
Yeah,
no way I'm going to
I'm not putting it on. Period. Like I'm not taking that risk. So the thing is, there's people out there that would like to play a game where the stakes are that high.
Is it going to be like traditional
thrill.
video games where you have 3 lives? So there's also a resuscitation feature in the headset that brings you back for 2 more lives?
I think if 3 explosives blow up, you won't have a brain to resuscitate.
You know what? I'm just saying, man. Like, if you're a real gamer, you would wear this shit.
You know what? I don't think it's even the gamers. I was thinking about who would really do this, and I thought about, you know, those guys that make, you know, Instagram videos of them like walking on like 50-story buildings, like jumping from like.
Oh yeah, like the parkour guys.
Yeah, they're not. That's not the same as like, you know, bungee jumping or jumping out of a plane with a parachute. Like those guys are playing with death,
Yeah.
and they get joy from it. Like you could do the same exact action of like jumping on these like stones.
Yeah.
At your local park 2 feet off the ground if you wanted to.
Here's the thing that's just funny with that is because like we got laws of gravity, they don't change. Freaking.
What if there's a bug in the game?
Yeah, seriously. Like,
right?
what if like I'm like doing so well and then like
You still die.
I freaking like a glitch like knocked me off the edge or
So
something.
so he said in there, there should be somebody else virtually, remotely, that's able to observe to make sure it's the right time that you die. But like, I'm like, whose job is it to be like?
So VR assisted suicide.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, could you imagine? Yo, I swear that was a glitch. And I'm like, you fucking nope.
Nope,
It
that
wasn't.
was
Just I kill you right there on the spot. You
Yeah.
know, head blown up and everything.
How does that
dead?
You know what I mean? And so the people that would pursue this are people that are like those adrenaline junkies that want that type of thrill.
Dude, this guy made Jeffrey Dahmer's fucking dream come true. Like that shit is fucked.
Yep.
Yep. I have a name for him too. V.R.eddy Krueger with VR spelt at the beginning, because when you die in the game, you die in real life.
Wow.
There's a
V.R.eddy
name for it.
Krueger. Oh shit.
Wow, that was great.
Thank you.
Time for the meme.
Time for a much lighter note. And this is going to tie in our crypto story of the day and the Elon story of the day. You guys were asking my crypto buying strategy. I think I'm just going to buy Dogecoin and do what this guy's doing. It says me after buying 100 Dogecoin. And it's the meme of the guy with the little stick, and he's poking Elon's
Come on,
face.
tweet
And he's
something.
like, come on, tweet something.
That's
So,
funny.
Can we? This is a good meme, but can we talk about how like Facebook, this meme is? So first of all, if you're not watching, it's a funny meme, but it's in a box. Then there's 2 laughing emojis underneath with some like cartoon character like chilling at the bottom, and it's screenshot. So you got the black bars at the side.
So this is 100% my doing. I took the screenshot. The guy at the bottom is the milkman from the Milk Road newsletter. So I actually stole this meme from the but I'm glad that I made it very Facebook-esque for you.
You just fired shots at the Milk Road.
Pardon me?
You just fired shots at the Milk Road.
No. I just thought like, because on the internet there's like a common thing you do. It's called deep fried memes. Have you guys ever heard of
Yes,
those?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like basically when because when you take a screenshot of a photo, it's essentially like it's lowering the quality.
Yes.
Now imagine if you do that 10 to 15 times instead of like sharing it, you're like screenshotting it. It comes almost like
Crispy.
it looks freaking messed
Fried,
up, right?
yeah.
And then like you have the laughing emojis, and then like this is me for real laughing like it doesn't add a lot to it. That's what this looks like.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. It's the news. Did they add the newsletter? Like, did they add the laughing emojis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Shots fired.
No problem. I just know. I just know to
I can
laugh
see why it's
now.
funny though. Yeah.
I just
it's
know.
good.
I just know to laugh.
Yeah. I know that this is a funny piece of content now.
Maybe I'll have a deep fried meme next week. On that note,
Yeah.
the listeners will remember Lewis's insight there. But in the meantime, what can the folks do?
Don't forget
The
to send
listeners.
us let us know if you listen to the podcast. We always like to hear from you, and give us a review if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts.
Yep. And make sure you check out our shorts on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. You can follow us there on all platforms. What do you guys think Twitter is going to happen next week? What's going to happen next week at Twitter? Let us know, guys.
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting.
I'm excited. We're going to be talking about it next week. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a bombshell's about to drop.
Oh yeah,
A freaking like literally like the equivalent of a nuclear bomb.
Trump's gonna tweet his announcement on Twitter because apparently he's supposed to announce something on the 14th. Could you
On
imagine?
Twitter?
I mean, that would be epic. If Trump came back to announce his presidency on the platform.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if that would be epic. That'd be kind of scary.
Why?
Because like fucking man, just like he just let the scapegoat go out, you know? Like,
Yeah.
or sorry, he just like
He's just saying
opened
he's gonna be doing it anyway. So it'd just be funny like that he did it on Twitter because he's banned from there.
yeah.
But like he's gonna be announcing something on the 14th.
Do you think they're gonna unban him?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week.